And here in the border city, the Lloydminster Bobcats have been soaring up the standings over the last month, going an impressive 7-10 in December. Today, I'm happy to be joined by Brad Riella, the head coach of the Lloydminster Bobcats. He's here today to talk about how the Bobcats have been very successful over this last month and have been rising up the standings all the way now into 7th in the AJHL standings. And so thank you so much for being with me today, Brad.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
All right, Brad. So let's talk about the month of December. You guys had a very strong finish in those last 5 games, especially with some really great goaltending from Jack Solomon and a great finish to the year, shutting out the last team that you guys came up against. Just talk to me about what has made you guys so successful at the beginning to finish out 2023.
Well, I think first off, you got to give a lot of credit to our players. I mean, we've right from day one. I feel like more days than not, I've always been able to say that the competitiveness and the effort is there, and that's kind of our calling card as a group. And within that, we've stressed a lot of details, and the guys have done a really good job of staying focused within that. When you're talking about stick detail and positioning and defensive awareness, like they've been completely checked into that, and you can see that we're a lot better and we're winning a lot more pucks, which is allowing us to go on offense and play the game that every team wants to play. But long story short, I think just real buy-in from our group, some really good goaltending, and just proud of the group right now, and obviously we're excited to continue to work here.
And then, Brad, now that we are into the new year for 2024, what are the things you guys are going to continue to do to stay successful and try to climb up the standings as well as hold your position at that, as it is a very tight standings race in the AJHL in the middle there?
Yeah, I mean, we've been stressing, Jeff and I, every day in practice and before practice, that we have to continue to get better. It gets harder and harder to score goals, so we've made a big focus of us just funneling pucks and bodies down towards the net, and really using the walls offensively, and then defensively just continuing to focus on the details that have allowed us to have success. I mean, it's no secret it took us a little while to get going that way defensively, and we gave up a lot more than we would have liked, and we learned some hard lessons along the way. But again, it's a credit to our players. They have a lot of pride, and they come to work every day, and they're all excited to learn and get better. So that's the most important thing.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much for all the information today, Brad, and good luck to you guys as you head out on the road to finish for your first few games here in 2024.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much for having me on.
And now we'll take another look at your extended weather forecast. Here is our Abby St. John.
Thanks, Thomas. We are currently sitting at -7, feels closer to -9 with that wind chill. We saw kind of a frosty and kind of gloomier day as the day went on, comparatively to over the weekend where we saw a lot of sunshine. That wind, however, quite calm at only 6 kilometers per hour, so it doesn't feel too bad. -7 in Cold Lake and Athabasca as well. -5 in Whitecourt, -4 in Edmonton and Jasper, -3 in Edson, -1 in Rocky Mountain House, and -6 out in Red Deer. And on the Saskatchewan side, -8 in Meadow Lakes, Prince Albert and Melfort, -6 in Saskatoon, and -5 in North Battleford. If we go up north in Saskatchewan, -16 in Uranium City and Wollaston Lake, -17 in La Loche and Buffalo Narrows, -15 in Stony Rapids, -13 in South End, and -9 out in Flin Flon. And then on the Alberta side, -17 in Fort Chipewyan, -13 in Fort Mac, -16 in High Level, -9 in Peace River and Grand Prairie, and -6 out in Slave Lake. Down south in Alberta, -4 out in Coronation, -1 in Calgary, -3 in Banff and Medicine Hat, and 0 out in Lethbridge. On the Saskatchewan side, -6 in Kindersley and Regina, -8 in Yorkton, -5 in Swift Current, Moose Jaw, and in Estevan. Overnight tonight in North Battleford will drop down to -16, cloudy conditions, and that wind will be quite calm at only 9 kilometers per hour. Overnight tonight in Cold Lake, the clouds will start to increase as the evening goes on, and the temperature will drop to -16. And then overnight across the region, things get quite cold in areas like Meadow Lake, sitting at -19, -14 in Bonnyville, -11 in Provost, -20 out in Isla Crosse, and -16 in Paradise Hill. Cloudy conditions as the evening goes on. Isla Crosse is sitting quite cold at -20, but those clouds will be a little bit less so than most of the region. And then more overnight temperatures, -11 in Murnum, -17 in Pierceland, -13 in Unity, -12 in Wainwright, and -7 out in Calgary. And again, mostly cloudy conditions in most of the region. Pierceland sitting a little bit clear with a little bit of clouds. And then overnight tonight here in Lloydminster, we'll drop down to -12. Those clouds should remain, and that wind will be at around 9 kilometers per hour. And then over the next 7 days here in Lloydminster, high of -6 and a low of -11 for tomorrow. Cloudy day is predicted. And then Thursday, the clouds will remain with a high of -7 and a low of -12. On Friday, 41% chance of some flurries in the morning with a mix of sun and cloud throughout the day, high of -6 and a low of -13. On Saturday, expect those clouds to roll right back in with a high of -8 and a low of -19. On Sunday, a mix of sun and cloud. It will be quite cold though, with a high of -13 and a low of -21. On Monday, high clouds and cold again with a high of -11 and a low of -22. And then on Tuesday, to round out the next 7 days, it will be a high of -16 and a low of -25. It will be quite cold with a 55% chance of some afternoon snow. So our temperatures are slowly dropping and we are slowly getting colder and colder as the days go on. That is a look at your evening weather forecast. We'll have more news coming up after the break. I'm back at Border Paws Animal Shelter for another edition of Pet Project, and it's our very first one of 2024, so very exciting. And today we have this adorable orange cat named Bogey. Tell me about his story and how, his personality is. There's a little bit, he has a bit of an attention-seeking personality, if you could say. So tell me about how he came here and what people should know about him.
So Bogey came to us in mid-November with his brothers who have since been adopted. And as you can see, he is very cuddly, really wants attention. And he's got his quirks. So I fostered him for a bit with my kids, and he loves kids, loves attention, always wants to cuddle and be your center of attention. And he actually will love bite, we call it. So he'll nibble you if you're not giving him your full attention. So we do recommend a home with older kids. My kids are 5 and 7, and he was excellent with them. He likes other cats. He's good with other friendly dogs that are good with cats as well. And so, yeah, he's a pretty well-rounded cat that would do well with just about any family. And, yeah, as long as you are up for constant cuddles, he is your guy.
and I like that you use love bite instead of just biting, because when we were talking a little bit earlier, it's not aggressive in the way he bites. Just a little nip, be like, hey, you're not paying full attention to me, please.
Reminding you to put both hands on him and pet him at all times.
Yes, exactly. But other than that, he was roaming around. He was rubbing up against our camera guy's legs. He is really a sweetie. So, and you did mention that he never actually nipped your kids.
No. So my kids were giving their full attention and would have both hands petting him. So I noticed he would nip more when I was distracted and say, typing on my laptop while petting him. So I wasn't giving him my full attention. So I think that could be part of it as well. So he's good at encouraging people to stop looking at electronics or working at home and just focus on the cat that's in front of them.
That could be nice. If you're working too hard, he'd be like, hey, It's
Yeah,
break time. Give
exactly.
me love and you don't have to work. It's kind of a good trade-off, a win-win situation
Yes.
for sure. Now, with this year in full swing officially, comes events that you guys will be putting
Yes.
on. What are your guys' plans so far for the new year?
So we have some adoption events planned with Pet Value in the near future, and we're picking some dates with PetSmart as well. So we are going to have some adoption events coming up in the very near future, and we're kind of gearing up and preparing the shelter for some new things happening as well with our kennels. So we have the cat kennels are going to be arriving, we're hoping next week. So we'll be updating the rooms, and they'll be getting all new kennels in here and much better setup and a really clean look. So we are going to be looking for volunteers that can come help kind of prepare us for that, organize our spaces so that there's room to set up the kennels, and help us kind of move cats maybe, and keep kind of have everything ready to go when they do arrive.
That is very exciting, especially for the dogs, eventually getting those. And then for the cats as well, because, you know, a bigger space for them, you know, brand new. I think it's going to be great and a long time coming for sure.
Yes.
But it's like everything is slowly starting to be completely finished with the green space in the back being done, and now getting the kennels. I feel like it's just one more thing to get to the very, very end of the construction that's been taking so long.
We're very excited for them. The cat kennels are arriving very soon, and then the dog kennels we're hoping by spring will be set up for the indoor kennels. So right now it's just the cat ones that are arriving, and I mean, these ones work, but it'll be really exciting to get new kennels that should last us for years to come.
Which is perfect. And I know you mentioned it already, but the volunteers, how can they volunteer? Where do they have to go to volunteer for this?
So if they email us at info@borderpaws.ca or volunteer@borderpaws.ca, or they can come into the shelter while we're open or call, of course. You can contact Gigi, who is our volunteer coordinator, and he will let you know what we need help with the most, but there's all sorts of opportunities. So you can come in and help exercise the animals, cuddle the cats like Bogey. You can be helping us organize. You can help with folding laundry and tidying. And then, like I said, with the new kennels coming, we're going to be doing a lot of extra organizing and kind of getting things set up how we want them to be, so that it's more easy for us to, you know, have things ready and prepared for when the kennels come, but also have a better setup and things clean and organized for once it's all done.
Perfect. And it's going to be very exciting once it's all done, for sure. Now, same question as every week, donations. I know you said that you got a ton of donations over the holidays, which is fantastic and really great to see. So what are you guys currently in need of, and what are you guys good on?
So we are in really good shape for food right now. Actually, we had so many people come in. It was like a revolving door of donations before Christmas, which was amazing to see that support. So we are good on food, good on canned food. And the only things we can really ask for right now would be laundry soap or bleach. And other than that, we are set right now. So thank you for your donation.
Which is very exciting, especially on the food front, because that's usually the number one, especially for kitten food and cat food. So that's fantastic that you guys aren't even, I think it's one of the first times where you didn't need to ask for it, which is fantastic. And just finally, with the donations, are you guys still going to keep your list at the various pet stores across the city?
So we usually try and update that every month or so, but we do have an ongoing wish list with all of the pet-related stores in Lloydminster and surrounding areas. So if you're ever wanting to donate and you're at one of the local pet stores or vet offices, you can ask them what our wish list is, and they're able to show you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again for joining me.
Good to see you.
Yes, it's been a while. So thank you so much again for joining me, and I think this was a great start to 2024.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery, downtown Lloydminster.
I'm talking to Constable Melanie Flynn with the RCMP in Lloydminster just about the successes from the past year and what we're looking at going forward into 2024. Thanks for joining me. Constable Flynn, what are some of the highlights that you were involved with with the force this year?
We hosted 2 town halls this year, one in April and one in the fall. Hearing from the city residents, like concerns, some concerns around kind of larger social issues, as well as traffic enforcement um, in some problematic traffic zone areas. So we outlined our annual priorities from those consultations for 2023. So this year, our annual priorities were traffic enforcement, crime reduction, as well as community wellness. Um, yeah, so in some of our highlights or projects, I guess, from this year, in regards to traffic enforcement, we've done several check stops throughout the city, continuous school zone patrols. So you may have seen the police cars in the school zones during school zone hours. And then lots of impaired driving enforcement stops, resulting in several impaired driving investigations. So taking like those unsafe drivers off the road. In regards to crime reduction, during the summer, we did see the Lloydminster RCMP General Investigations Section team up with the crime reduction team and general duty officers to conduct a project that was targeting like drug trafficking, drug enforcement, prolific offenders, and executing some outstanding arrests for warrants, so people on warrants. And that project was a successful one.
When we talk about the bigger social issues that Lloydminster is facing, how is the RCMP helping with those?
Yeah, so the RCMP, in regards to community involvement and sitting on some of those committees that are tackling some of those larger societal issues, that's going to continue. So in 2023, we did participate in some of those consultations as well. I know myself as the community policing officer attended a lot of meetings, including the Lloydminster and area drug strategy committee meetings. Those were monthly meetings that I was able to attend and hear some concerns and put forward some initiatives. Like the community is doing a lot of great work around initiatives to kind of support some of those societal issues, right? This year, in regards to community events, we did participate in different ones across the city throughout the year, including food drives and toy drives to support the local like Olive Tree and Salvation Army in regards to food shortages and food crisis that we're kind of seeing, to support those organizations. So just one to kind of talk about was our one we just hosted here in December, the first responders kickoff to Christmas food and toy drive, where we actually raised over 5,000 pounds in food, and not including toys. And then there was a lot of toys on top of that. So all those great donations from the city and the residents within the city, those all go to the Olive Tree and Salvation Army. So
what would you say the Lloydminster RCMP will be focusing on the most going into 2024?
We did have some recruitment events and recruitment initiatives throughout the year of 2023 as well. We have seen some successful applicants join the RCMP from some of those recruitment events. And in February, we did host a youth camp, an RCMP youth camp here locally. So with partnership from the Lloyd and Area Drug Strategy, the Youth Council, the Lloyd Youth Council kids, the school boards, we were able to pull off the youth camp, and we had 25 participants come through. And the RCMP were able to kind of expose the youth to what it would be like having a career within the RCMP. So we're hoping to do a few more of those projects in 2024, just to promote the RCMP as a career option for kids. And it also, I think some of those camps and they build resiliency within kids as well, right? And they bring the community together to put forth something for the kids to stay busy at during February break or April break. So we're hoping to see more of those, and we're hoping to host one more of those in 2024.
In terms of making things better overall for the community in 2024, what will the RCMP be doing specifically?
In regards to some of those larger societal concerns that came up, we do sit on a lot of interagency networking hubs, like our hub team here in Lloydminster. And so we can work kind of, alongside some of those nonprofit agencies and, put a spin on we're not just out there to enforce, we're out there to help solve problems too, as like within the community, right? So
Thank you very much for your time and for updating me on what has been going on and what is to come in 2024 for Lloydminster RCMP, and I appreciate it. Have a great day.
All right, to finish up tonight, we have some exciting news for 2024. Millions of people across North America will get the chance to see a total solar eclipse this April, weather permitting, of course.
So it's something that it's a legacy thing. It's something that if you take your kids, that they will remember this event.
The total solar eclipse will begin over the South Pacific around noon on April 8th and pass over Mexico, the United States, and eastern Canada, and the moon's shadow will eventually depart from North America on the Atlantic coast of Newfoundland. Later in the afternoon, experts remind people that it's not safe to look directly at the sun without protection.
I think this is very, very exciting, especially for people who live for this kind of stuff and love, solar system and space and, really get into this. I think it's gorgeous. And, like that quick clip said, it's basically a once in a lifetime experience. And if you do go and experience it, it's something that you will live on to remember for the rest of your life. So I think something like that is so significant and very exciting for this year.
Yeah, for sure, and hopefully it's not going to be too late in the day, and actually, for once, April might be warm,
Yes.
of course, weather permitting, so
Yes.
yeah, it's going to be awesome for sure. But that will do it for our first show back here in 2024. Thank you so much for joining us today. Have yourself a great rest of your day.